right to vote. Well, still on the splits there, we are giving you live pictures from the Bomas of Kenya, where our EBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati has made a very short address there with regard to the number of Form 34As that they've received so far, 37,045, and of course the launch of the verification exercise, which is expected any minute now. Migori continues to be a standstill. Earlier on, we saw the police apprehending a few of the residents and asking them to remove the material that has been used to blockade the roads there, very strategic bridge in the county of Migori to allow for distribution of electoral material. We've also seen that particular press briefing from the LSK in Kisumu condemning not just the police but the REBC chairperson for insisting on an election on a Saturday for the 4 Nyanza counties. And let's now speak to Robert Wanyonyi, who's joining us live from Webuye, which is in the county of Bungoma. Earlier on, we witnessed running battles between the police and residents. One person so far has been shot dead. Robert, what can you report? What do we know as of now from the situation in Bungoma?
Thank you very much, Akisa. Good afternoon. We are coming to you from Webuye, whereby we are just following keenly what's happening in Bungoma County, especially Bungoma Town, the running battles, the killing that has happened there, and maybe looking at the situation as it is from a wider perspective, and maybe getting leaders to talk about what is happening in this county. And before me, I have the Senate Speaker, Kenneth Lusaka, who will just briefly tell us about the situation that is happening in Bungoma Town and also about the voting exercise that took place yesterday. Bwana Speaker, karibu sana. Can you tell us briefly about what is happening in Bungoma? What do you think is the situation caused by?
Thank you very much, Robert. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity to thank the residents of Bungoma for conducting themselves peacefully yesterday during the elections. Like you have already seen, we have recorded over 95,000 voters who voted for His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and this is a good turnout. We are about short of 20,000 from what was actually recorded in August this year. So what is happening in Bungoma now is surprising because the information we have is these are people who have been brought in from outside to try and disrupt. It's a sideshow. I think because some leaders had gone around telling people that they should not vote for, they should boycott the voting, and having now realized that people turned out to vote in large number. Okay, the turnout was low, just like any other party in the country, because of the threats that had been there, the leaflets that had been thrown around, and therefore there was a bit of apathy. But having realized that about over 95,000 people turned out to vote, I think this is now a sideshow to try and show that people are not very happy with what happened. And we have information, and we're asking the security agents to find out, because our people are people of peace. There's no violence anywhere in Webuye. There's no violence in Kimilili, in Ichwele, in any other part. It's just focused at the bus stop. And the bus stop is where we have quite a number of people who we have information have been brought from outside to try and paint Bungoma in bad light. But I want to thank the people of Bungoma because they turned out, those who came to vote, and it was peaceful. Mm-hmm. So if it was meant to prevent voting, then the demonstration should have been there yesterday. Why come today, a day after the elections have just been concluded? So we think that it's very suspicious, and we want those who are behind this kind of activity to realize that they are putting the lives of people at risk, and to restrain them from coming to the bus stop to challenge the boy who was shot, tried to snatch a gun from a policeman. Obviously, that is the provocation, and we don't need that at this point in time.
Lastly, Bwana Speaker, you have mentioned that these are outsiders who are causing trouble in Bungoma Town. Which areas are you having information that these outsiders might have come from?
We had information that people were coming even from across the country, from neighboring some counties neighboring us, and I think I don't want to speculate so much, but I would want, because we have intelligence, we have intelligence officers, we have the security agents who are able. Even the identity of maybe the person who has been shot should be found out, should be able to give an indication of whether these are locals or these are people who have been brought here to paint Bungoma County as one of those counties where we have chaos erupting and disrupting the business of the area and causing general fear amongst our residents, because it has been very peaceful. The whole night was peaceful, the morning was peaceful. Why this coming up at this particular time? Like I've said, I think it's because of what the results that have been recorded in the just concluded re-election of the presidential election, which was just being concluded.
But considering that this was one of the counties that the president and his deputy campaigned so heavily, they came almost 4 times until yesterday, why do you think there still was a very low voter turnout, about 10-11% who turned up to vote exactly?
Like I've said, there were a lot of threats. There were leaflets that were thrown. People were told, if you go to vote, we shall come for you at night. You know, people fear. So out of that fear, and of course also the apathy in any by-election, unless somebody says is voting, say, for an MCA, a senator, a person he can relate with directly, then again that also contributes to the low turnout. So in my own opinion, that fear and that general apathy when it's a re-election or a by-election may have contributed to this. But I want to thank those who came out to vote, because I don't know what the other results for other parts of Western are. But I think for Bungoma, I think this is a good trial, and I really want to thank the people of Bungoma.
Okay, lastly, Bwana Speaker, what message do you have for the security apparatus? Because we have found that in some of the areas, the violence is happening, but they are just standing there in groups, maybe waiting for orders. What message do you have for them to control the situation as it is now in Bungoma?
I think the police are trying their level best to act with restraint, because, again, we don't want to lose lives. It's not good for us to lose lives. So they're acting with a lot of restraint, despite the provocation that they are going through. But we want to plead that, of course, they act with restraint, try as much as possible not to shoot to kill, but try to contain the situation so that normalcy resumes, because what is happening is can affect a lot of things, in fact, including investments that we are looking forward to. So I want to really appeal that as they contain the situation, they also act with a lot of restraint, but make sure that at least those who want to cause destruction are also restrained. And also appeal to our people, especially the people in Bungoma, that we have had a peaceful election. Let us not allow our towns, let us not allow our county to fall into what is happening in other areas. This county is bigger than all of us. And if there's any leader, or if there are any leaders who are perpetuating or encouraging this, we want to condemn them. That, let us be peaceful. Let us wait for IEBC to give its direction on what has happened, so that the country can be able to move forward.
Okay, thank you very much. The Senate Speaker, Kenneth Lusaka, he has told us exactly what is happening in Bungoma town and the environs, whereby there are some running battles up to now between the youths who are demonstrating and the police who are trying to contain the situation. And we'll continue maybe moving a bit into Bungoma town just to see how the situation is emanating from there. From me, Akisa, I say thank you very much, and back to you in studio.